Hi guys, welcome back. As it gets colder outside, I'm looking at warmer clothing to wear. For a while now I've wanted to buy something from Arcteryx. They are quite expensive. They're sort of specialist clothing manufacturers for maybe the outdoorsy type of person, people that take their walks and hikes pretty seriously, and they're very popular in the fashion world. You know, a lot of young people have started wearing Arcteryx. They seem to be leaning more towards that line. I've always liked them and wanted one of their hoodies. They do these Atom water resistant soft shell hoodies. I've always been keen to get one, but because of the price I've always held off. Recently I did buy one. I just took the plunge and I thought I'd review it for you guys so that if you're considering getting one of these Arcteryx hoodies you can make an informed decision, and I'll give you the lowdown on it. So these form part of Arcteryx's layering philosophy, and like any forward-thinking company that's producing clothing for cold weather wear for active people, they're looking at the concept of layering. You can build up layers of clothing which trap air between them, keeping you nice and warm. It has an insulating effect, and then when you do lots and lots of hard work and you get too hot and sweaty, you can take a layer or two off, allowing you to carry on without being dripping in sweat. Because if it gets really cold outside and you start sweating, soon enough when you stop the hard work you will become bitterly cold no matter how many layers or how thick your clothes are. So the last thing you want to do is be sweating like hell inside all those things, plus it's generally uncomfortable. I've actually got a real OCD about getting too sweaty, you know, I hate it. So this was particularly appealing to me, that I could just chuck this on, maybe chuck a bigger jacket on over the top, a t-shirt or a base layer underneath, and that would be all that I would need for most days in the British calendar when it's the colder time of year. So we have this Atom hoodie. As you can see, it zips right up so that it actually comes just below the mouth, and then it has this hood over the top. It does actually have a drawstring piece on the back, so you can pull the hood right in. I actually find that very useful because on a cold day it stops the wind from whipping the hood around and pulling it off your head. Very easy to cinch up and down. I'll show you that in a second. I normally just wear it down like that, like a soft shell jacket. Obviously got the Arcteryx logo on there, so it looks pretty cool as well. Elasticated cuffs. It's really soft. The material is kind of not shiny, it's kind of a matte colour, if you can see. Feels very soft to the touch on the outside, and then on the inside very similar material. Incredibly comfortable, and it doesn't rustle around too much. You know, as you move, some of these soft shell jackets or rainproof jackets, they really make a lot of noise. If you're wearing this for outdoor activities where you want to keep the noise down a little bit, maybe you're hunting or you're taking photographs of wildlife, stuff like that, this would be an ideal solution for you. We have a zipper on the front, and that is also a really good quality zipper. We have some drawstrings in the hem of the jacket there, so you can actually cinch that down. The wind's not going to whip up the back or bottom of the jacket. And then under the arms you've actually got these stretchy panels here, so that gives you a bit of flex. These things are cut quite trim. You know, if you're sort of small shouldered and small arms and very big around the midsection, you're going to have to pick a bigger size because they are slightly tapered. You know, they're cut to fit, and the fit is a kind of classic tapered style. That suits me really well. That's not going to suit everyone. So if you're a slightly different shape to a taper, which is a lot of people these days, then maybe go and try one on before ordering it online. You have two side pockets here with zips. Just got a tiny little tag on the zip, and they are pretty much completely hidden away. That's what I quite like about this jacket. It isn't too leery, there's not loads of pockets all over it. It's just got those two hand warmer pockets on the outside. There's nothing particularly visible other than those, and then on the inside it has another pocket that you could use for your wallet or something like that. A little bit more hidden away. And as we can see, the back of the hood, that's that, just that push button toggle on there, so you can easily pull that in and out and just control how tightly you want the hood cinched down. The flexible parts on the side just go underneath the arms as well, so if you do need to lift an arm up, that is going to flex on you a little bit. This will pack away really small, so if we take a look, I'll take it off again, you can squish it right down into a really small packable jacket like so. It will even go further than that if you can be bothered to fold it up, and then when you unpack it, it doesn't crease at all, you can just sling it straight back on. It utilises the core loft insulation from Arcteryx, which is really thin. It's not a thick jacket at all, and it's also lightweight. The whole thing comes in at about 370 grams, so ideal if you're hiking or something like that. You don't want to be carrying loads of extra weight, and if you're packing this as an extra jacket to put on if it gets a bit too chilly, then again it's not going to be taking up loads of room and loads of weight in your bag. It does a great job of keeping me warm. You know, if I go out and it's, say, anything over about 5 degrees centigrade, I can just wear this and a t-shirt and I can be pretty comfortable. If it drops much below that, I'll wear this underneath a bigger jacket, and then I'll wear like a merino base layer below it. That is really snug. The fabric on the outside is water resistant. They call it their Tiono 20 fabric, and it gives a really good level of water resistance. They don't call it waterproof, you know, it will start to let water through after prolonged periods. I've worn it out in heavy rain. I've got some pictures and videos, I'm sure you've seen them in this, and it really bucketed down on me, and I was fine. You know, I was out for about an hour and a half doing some shooting. I had this on, rain just ran straight off it. When I took it off and hung it up to dry, I was completely bone dry underneath, so I had no issues with water at all. But that really boils down to what you're going to be doing in it. You know, if you're out in the extreme wet weather all day and the wind's kind of driving rain into you sideways and stuff and really hammering it at you, then this might not suffice. So just beware of that. It is marketed as water resistant, not waterproof. Arcteryx have waterproof jackets. I'm hopefully going to get hold of one of those as well, because I've been so impressed with this one, but they are even more expensive. They're in the like 350 plus mark, so again, something I'm going to think about before I go ahead and buy one. It's not something I can just pull the trigger on, and this isn't stuff that I particularly bought for the channel to review. This is just stuff that I wanted to wear myself, because I go into a lot of freezing cold European countries doing lots of shooting sports. I just wanted some clothing that would keep me warm and dry. The other good thing I found about this was it was pretty useful if it's even quite warm and it's a really windy day. It's handy for that as well. I actually took it to Texas with me the other week. It was roasting hot there, but extremely windy, and it was blowing a bit of dust and muck around where we were. I stuck this on. I didn't get too hot in it. It's one of the weird things about the way they've insulated this. It keeps you warm when you need it, but it doesn't keep you so hot that you're like sweating to bits in there. It definitely feels breathable. You can machine wash this, so if you're out in the elements and you get it dirty, it's not something you have to be super careful about. You can bring it back, machine wash it. Don't use fabric softener. They do discuss that in the washing instructions. Just a very low temperature machine wash, and then don't bring it out either. Just hang it up to dry afterwards in a kind of natural drying position. So very convenient, very comfortable to wear. It's probably one of the most comfortable, windproof, water resistant jackets I've ever owned. It's certainly one of the lightest. I've got nothing bad to say about this. The only downside is the price, but of course for all those features and benefits it was never going to be cheap. There are of course other options that may give you similar performance at a lesser price. I always buy into brand names that have a quality reputation, because I don't want to find out when I'm halfway through a rainstorm that actually me saving £100 resulted in me having a wet and miserable day whilst I'm at work. I'd rather just spend the extra money. I understand that the amount things cost is a different thing for everyone involved. You know, it's going to depend how much you earn, how much spare cash you have. It made sense for me to purchase this because it allows me to do my job in some unpleasant weather conditions and still look pretty decent as well, and that shouldn't be undervalued. You know, if you feel that you look good, you perform well. And the last thing I want to be doing is going somewhere, meeting some sort of high profile customers, and I kind of look like a bit of a drip, or I feel like I do. Then I'm not going to be presenting the best version of myself. So I like to dress in a way where I feel that I look as good as I can. You know, a 48-year-old man who's not going to be on a fashion model runway anytime soon. But as long as I feel that I look as good as I can, then I'm going to perform hopefully as well as I can as well. So that is important to me. Would I pay £260 for this again? Yes, I would. I would probably be inclined, I would definitely buy another one. I would be inclined to wait for a sale and see if I could get maybe 20 or 30 pounds knocked off of it. That would please me somewhat. But if the worst came to the worst, yes, I would pay another £260 for one of these. I mean, they're not going to last forever. They are a lightweight jacket. If you take care of it, it's going to give you a few years wear. But if you're looking for an outdoor jacket where you're like pushing through brambles and thorn bushes, this is not the outer jacket part of that equation. If you want something like that, Arcteryx do have other options, and I will be reviewing some of those hopefully in the future if I go and buy them. But this one would be worn underneath of those things. So if you're doing really rough stuff, this is the underneath wear. If you're just going out on a walk and you need something to chuck on quickly, then this is ideal for slinging over the top, but it's not going to take scratches and nicks too well. I hope that was of some use. Let me know if you've got one of these down in the comments. Let me know if you're thinking of buying one. I'll chuck up a couple of links to the Arcteryx website. Let me know what you think about the brand. If you would like to see me review any of their other items, and I hopefully will do pretty soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll catch you next time.